The following incident occurred last Sunday. I was in my study typing an email for work. When I finished, I heard a noise coming from my kitchen. I disregarded it. The house in which I live in is old, and strange noises were not uncommon. About 5 minutes later, I heard the noise again. It was a clicking of some sort. I broke out into a cold sweat. It was the sound of the back door unlocking. I opened my desk, pulled out my revolver, and closed the door. I stood up and quietly made my way to the door of my study. I carefully opened the door and stepped into the hall. Darkness greeted me, thick and awful, a shroud hiding whomever was lurking in my house. Then again, the darkness was my protector as well. Knowing my house at the back of my hand, I didn't bother turning on the lights. If someone truly was here, I wanted to get the jump on them. I moved down the hall as silently as possible and listened as hard as I could. Silence. Could I have been imagining things? As I mused over these points, a soft padding played its way from the direction of my kitchen to the other side of the house. No shoes or boots could make such a stealthy noise. Had the intruder removed his shoes before entering? Steps sounded louder than a full-grown man, but they sounded like a child's footsteps were those to a large dog. At this point, I decided to call out. "Hello?" I bellowed loudly, the volume of my voice causing me to recoil. "Get a hold of yourself, man," I whispered to myself. I yelled out again. "I am armed and the police are on their way." Stupid me. Why didn't I call the police when I was in the study? I made my way into the kitchen, entered slowly, and saw that I was very much alone. Everything seemed to be in its place, yet when I turned on the lights, I had to choke down a scream. The back door, I had double locked it for the night, only 2 hours before they lay wide open. Adding to the horror, I discovered 2 sets of small, muddy, barefooted prints leading to the stairs. I closed the door quietly. Who is in my house? I thought, my mind beginning to race. And how did they undo the locks? I decided I would follow the footprints, and a new sound impressed itself upon my ears. The sound of muffled conversations came from above. Whoever was in my house had made their way into the upstairs bedroom. I steeled my nerves and swallowed the lump in my throat. This was my house. Whoever was whispering in my bedroom was invading my privacy and threatening my safety. I had to deal with it. I made to the bedroom of the steps, switched on the light, and yelled, "Show yourself!" Weighted silence greeted me. "I have a gun and I will use it. Surrender yourself." My adrenaline began to pump, and no longer cautious. I took the stairs 2 by 2, slammed open my bedroom door, and leveled the gun at nothing. My large bedroom, the only room on the 2nd floor, entirely empty. I looked at the floor. The same footprints were in the kitchen, only they stopped in the middle of the room. My blood ran cold. I checked the closet under the bed, but there was no one to be seen. Was I going mad? I made my way back into the hall when the door suddenly slammed shut. I shouted in terror and bounded back down the stairs, through the kitchen, and in my study. I slammed the door and locked it tight. I collapsed in my chair and passed out. Footsteps. I awoke just in time to hear them pad their way down the stairs, across the kitchen, and to my horror, stop outside my study door. Lock seemed powerless to stop this entity, and I waited for the knob to turn. Instead, I heard something that chilled my blood. A voice whispering in the hall. A horrible voice belonging to someone no longer alive. My heart pounded. My blood froze in its veins. My lips moved, and my throat uttered a gibbering mess. A doorknob began to turn. The locks disengaged as if by magic. The door creaked open slowly. Nothing. Emptiness. Darkness. I feared I had gone truly mad. Then again, the sounds of footsteps, but this time, going away from my study. The back door opened, closed, leaving me in deafening silence. After what seemed like an eternity, I stood and shakily made my way to the kitchen. The light was still on, and nothing seemed out of order. The back door was closed. I could see that the lock was, again, engaged. Looking around, I noticed a piece of paper on the table. I moved closer, picked up the note, and began to laugh horribly. It read, "Sorry, wrong house.